All right, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining me once again on the Michael Mars Show. Today is Wednesday, September 9th, 2020. This is Season 2, Episode 31. And boys, we got a great one for you today. As you can see, I'm joined by one of my great friends of many years, Nova native, Mr. Matt Burkholder. Why don't you say what's up to everyone, Matt?
What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing? Yep, like Mike said, my name is Matthew Burkholder. Longtime friend, first-time guest.
First-time guest, dude. Long time coming, too.
It's been a while, yeah. We've had some roadblocks put in the way.
Yeah, we were going to do one, I think we were going to do one, what was it, like June? Like sometime around June we were going to do it. But then you had to, duties were calling in Virginia Beach, baby.
I know, yeah. I had to beach bomb it out all summer, so I was...
Yeah, you had to command people, right? That were not following the guidelines?
Yeah, you could call me the enforcer.
The enforcer?
I
like that. That's a good way to start the episode.
Yeah, right. I was down in the sand, splitting people up. Really was just saying what's up to people,
making friends, making connections.
Exactly.
There you go. That's all that matters. And before we start, make sure to wish Matt a happy birthday because, like I said, we're recording on Wednesday, but you're getting this on Thursday, and today is Matt's birthday, September 10th. The big 21 piece, dude.
Big 21.
That's big time.
It's been a long time coming, dude.
Yeah,
I'm pumped.
You ready to get rid of the fake?
Yeah, dude. I've had the luxury. 2 of my roommates are 21, so they've been
able to hook it up.
They've been supplying, so I haven't had to use that this year. But
yeah,
the old West Virginia card is that
West Virginia card. Dude, trust me, I know all about the West Virginia card, dude.
I think we might have gotten on the same.
I think we did get it on the same group back in the day. I'm like turning 25 soon.
Yeah, same
in the
here.
State of West Virginia.
And my hair, I think it was junior year, maybe senior year of football. So I had that bleach blonde.
Oh, you got that Slim Shady.
Yeah.
All right. I don't hate that, dude.
Just incredibly sus on your ID,
Yeah.
To have that as a 25-year-old man. But,
yeah.
Dude,
but
we're moving past that on to bigger.
Like I said, this is like the last big time birthday, I would think, because it's like you're teenager, like when you're 13, like that you're teenager, sweet 16, 18, you're an adult, 21. And then after that, it's like there's nothing really like big time birthdays that everyone's like obsessed with you for. You know what I mean? Like it's 21, it's gonna be all about you tomorrow, bro.
I know.
Rightfully should be.
Yeah, it seems to get just increasingly depressing the older you get. After 21, 25, you gotta get your life together. 30, it just gets sadder and sadder.
I feel like the older we get, the faster the years go by.
Right.
Like, I feel like when I was, 16, it's hard to believe that was 5 years ago. Because then when I was 16, 5 years before that was 11. And that 11 to 16 gap feels so much longer than 16 to 21.
2 or 3 lifetimes, yeah. Just growing up, developing.
It's crazy.
And then once you hit, adulthood, it's just...
the motor starts turning, bro. And it goes by fast.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
I don't know, part of me is looking forward to, the big 6'5". I'm looking forward to those golden years.
So you can retire?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to watching my kids grow up,
Yeah, well, at that point, your kids will already hopefully be adult. Yeah, you'll be getting in that grandchildren type stage. 65.
I might be pumping them out for a while though, Mike. You never know.
Okay, okay. I don't hate that, dude. Episode 31's off to a good start. All right, should we jump into that with that first topic?
Oh, let's do it.
You know what I mean? That Elon Musk topic.
Yep.
Neuralink. If you guys don't know what Neuralink is, it was founded in...
I hate to interrupt. You might have to tell me too, because I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. No, I got you. So, if you guys don't know what Neuralink is, let me pull this mic a little bit closer to me. Neuralink is a company that was founded by Elon Musk in 2016. Long story short, it's basically a little microchip that's going to get inserted in the top of your skull. They want the surgery to be conducted by robots. They don't want it to be a human surgery, a human operator.
Well, that's only fitting. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but and also they said you won't need general anesthesia, so you'll just be able to go in there.
You're kidding.
Yeah, because they just numb the part, because apparently there's not a lot of I can't think
nerve endings, I guess.
Yeah, nerves, so you can't really feel much.
No doctor, but
I know that's what I said. I'm no doctor.
Right.
But okay, a question that I have for you though. Well, actually, he had the demo with 3 pigs on August 28th, which was last week. I think you saw a little bit of that though.
You sent me a little bit of it, but I missed out on the full presentation.
Yeah, it's kind of a slow presentation, but I'll break it down real quick. It's just he had 3 pigs come in. One of the pigs had Neuralink currently. One of the pigs never had Neuralink, and one of the pigs had Neuralink for 6 months, and then it was taken out 4 months ago prior to the presentation. And he just wanted to show that, look, you can get Neuralink. you can take it out and still be normal. But it's like, it's a pig, dude. It's not a human.
It's interesting, even at that level, they're still using the basic scientific method, like test group, control,
Yeah.
put that independent variable in there.
I mean, dude, don't
crazy,
try to
man.
fix the world. Just learn how to roll it better. You know what I mean?
Right, okay.
So, yeah.
Tried and true, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, word.
But, dude, it's crazy to think about that Elon Musk is actually trying to make the advancements to get a microchip put in people's head.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's something you would grow up, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Never would have thought that's possible. Not in my lifetime, Yeah, maybe in 3000 they'll be doing stuff like that. But
3,000.
here we are in 2020, and probably 2025 that's going to be our reality. So,
man, it's scary to think about. I mean, founded in 2016. It's not that old. It's 4 years old.
Yeah.
And he said at the end of the presentation that they're hoping to get like the first human study in the next year or two.
You're kidding.
So, man, I can't even imagine what that presentation is going to be like.
Yeah.
I'll pull the mic a little closer.
Yeah, that's probably my bad.
No, you're good. Taking it off might just be better.
Honestly.
Then you can just hold it and lean back.
Exactly.
That's why I wish I could take out the mic on this, but
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have that mobility.
Yeah, he's got that singer mic. He's got that Britney Spears.
Exactly. Yeah.
There you go.
Can run something for you guys.
Yeah. Better than the egg that I've been using for the podcast back home, the Blue Yeti.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It gets a job done, but it's a little thick. You know what I mean? It's a little heavy.
I considered over the summer sending you a little package with the stand or like a better mic, But
dude, what a guy.
I don't know.
No.
Didn't quite have the funds.
No, dude, don't worry about it.
But the egg did its job. But
yeah,
out here in the stew. So
yeah. But back to the Neuralink.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. Would you ever get it installed?
Yeah. I think it's not going to be an option in maybe in our lifetimes, maybe a little bit afterwards. But I mean, if I'm not mistaken, when he was on Rogan, he said that the Neuralink would have the ability to basically read minds, so that you could understand what somebody's thinking without any verbal language.
Yeah.
Without any audio. So I don't know. With a lot of the things going on right now, I think it's going to be ethically wrong to not get that installed.
Yeah, with the advancements in technology that we're making.
People are going to think, why are you lying? Are you
Yeah.
Why don't you want us to know your thoughts? Why don't you want us? What are you trying to hide from us? So it's going to be. I think it's going to be looked down upon.
At first.
No. I think the surgery itself is going to be looked down upon. I think give it 10 years in the market, 20 years, and it's going to be like morally wrong to not get it installed.
I mean, I don't disagree. I was just trying to get your mindset on it.
Yeah.
So it's the ability I believe it's the ability to interface through technology when you have it installed.
Okay.
So I don't really know what that exactly means, but like you said, if it
sounds
needs
good.
Yeah, it does. But I think it's just like you're able to load your mind into technology, like basically like into your phone, like you're your phone, like you're a separate.
Right.
I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's so weird to like try to articulate a viewpoint when you're talking about something like this, because it's like I have no clue what I'm even saying, bro.
Yeah, and you and I are so far away from like actually understanding what's going on there.
Yeah, because
I mean, it's just really hard to wrap our minds around it.
Yeah, the thing that's crazy to me is that you don't need anesthesia.
Yeah,
like you don't need general anesthesia.
Yeah.
You can just go in there. He said that it's like a 4-hour operation, so you'll be there and back home within the same day with the microchip in your brain.
Wow.
Man.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that's brain surgery.
Yeah.
And I know, I don't know. I know it's Elon Musk, but that's still incredible.
Yeah.
That he's setting those goals and.
I think it's more fascinating to Gen Z, millennials, because I was talking to my dad about it a couple weeks ago, and he would never even entertain the idea of getting that installed.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a certain demographic that I think he's targeting, and I mean, there's definitely going to be people that do it.
It's hard because I think one of his main goals is to help people with Alzheimer's, help people with physical and like mental disabilities be able to regain control. I mean, I think he said something about being able to regain eyesight.
Yeah, you're able to.
So it's hard because that generation is probably less inclined to do that. They kind of have an aversion to technology.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, if that's going to change your life and like help prevent certain
diseases,
deterioration, I mean, they might get it, man. They're going to have to. And if they start with that and then start introducing it to the younger crowd, who say, hey, you don't need this for health reasons. but this will put you at a competitive advantage in the workplace or just in life. I mean, I think people are going to be getting that left and right.
Yeah. I wonder how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
That's
probably
if you
the
had to
question you
make
should be asking. Yeah.
a guess, how much do you think it would be?
Oh, I don't even know.
I would say like 15,000, 20,000. I might be totally wrong. I might be so off.
I'd say
about as much as
more.
More?
I think more. I would ballpark like 30, 40K.
And then you would assume that the price goes down and down?
Yeah. I just can't imagine it being, I don't know. I can't imagine it being less than like a Tesla.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I would prefer for it to be, excuse me, I prefer it to be really, for it to be really expensive.
Yeah.
Because then I know it's good, you know what I mean? Like it's
good quality.
It's good quality.
Yeah,
I mean, it's top tier.
I think saying I would get it, I would definitely have to wait at least a decade, maybe like 15 years.
To think about it?
Yeah, or just to see. Give you know.
Let the guinea pigs
the
go
real
first.
bold people kind of test it out, give it a shot.
Yeah.
And then we'll see, you know, are they going crazy? Are these people, you know, being lobotomized? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
You know, I love Elon, but there's a chance he's some evil genius, you know, trying to
take over the world. Maybe he's an
control,
alien.
Man. World order. Yeah, he could be.
He could be, dude. So do you
really
think?
Seems it.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, yeah, bro. I mean, I have it written down here. Owns Tesla, SpaceX, PayPal/Venmo, because PayPal owns Venmo.
Yeah.
The Boring Company. Not even 50 years old, man. Not even 50.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. But do you think the pros outweigh the cons of Neuralink? Because the cons are pretty drastic. I mean, if it was to get hacked or something,
right.
And everyone's little microchip was under the control of someone else.
Yeah,
that's scary to think about.
It would introduce a whole new world of risks and threats. I mean, we already have cybersecurity threats, but when it's implanted into your body, I mean, that's a whole different thing you're looking at. So I hadn't really thought of that. Yeah, definitely a lot of risks in that regard. I think if they're going to put it out and it's going to be approved as a product you can get installed in your body, I think they're going to have some sort of firewall, you know, I don't, for lack of a better word, to protect from anything like that. Some sort of lockdown button.
Yeah. That'd be crazy, man. Though.
I think they do outweigh it, you know, and I think people would be hesitant because you're literally becoming a cyborg. You're becoming part technology, part man.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at it, I mean, what do we got? 3 computers in the room right now, 2 microphones,
an iPhone
recording. I got mine right here in my pocket.
Technology is surrounding us. Dude.
I hate
we got a monitor right there.
Yeah, I mean, we're literally surrounded by it at all times of the day. I wake up, go on my phone.
Yep.
Check my messages. I mean, you know, it's an addiction, it's a habit, but technology is already built into us, especially our generation. And you think, like you were talking about the generations below us. I mean,
they grew up in like a completely different time.
Yeah, I think we got lucky because we were able to live part of our childhoods and part of our lives with no technology. I mean, my parents were very anti-phone, anti-television. So,
yep, same.
You know, I was in the woods, running through the creeks, just...
and that's beautiful, honestly, man.
Right.
I mean, that's what I've always... We've talked about this countless times at Virginia Tech and everything.
Had to, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, we were the last generation, basically, to grow up. Because, like, nowadays, every kid has an iPhone at 7 years old, 6 years old. And not necessarily because they want their kid to have an iPhone, but for the security of knowing where they are and if they're safe and everything. But you don't know when you hand them that phone that you're not just handing them a phone like that makes calls. You're handing them social media. You're handing them the internet.
You're handing them a source of happiness, a source of serotonin pumped through their body. You know, like it's a lot more than just a phone now. But it's hard as a parent. I can't imagine having to make that call. You know, I want my child to grow up, you know, quote unquote normal with, you know, playing outside, learning how to socialize with other people, learning how to have fun on their own, be creative, invent things, you know, just have that imagination. But hey, I want them to be safe too, and I want to know where they are, to be frank. You know, if I have a child, I don't want them running around without my knowledge.
Yeah.
That's why it's scary,
it's a tough call to make, like you said, as a parent, like, especially because these parents aren't far off. Like, if you're having a kid nowadays and you're like 26, 27, you're not far off from that generation that we grew up where it's like part of your life was not technology based and the rest of your growing up was. So it's weird, man.
I would like to think that we'll be able to find that perfect blend,
that balance.
You know, that medium, that Goldilocks, that balance where introduce the right amount of technology, but make sure they're still grounded in reality and like what real life is like.
Yeah. I think that's why they're dripping it to us. Oh my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's why they're dripping it to us because, like, obviously, like our military in other countries have such vast advancements in technology that we're not exposed to yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think of it. Like every year they come out with an iPhone, and it's basically like the same version of the last iPhone with a slight little tweak.
Yeah.
Like they're just dripping us the technology like year by year. But could you imagine if they just unloaded like 1 year like all the stuff that they actually have?
I think this is something we have discussed too, where they have the next 5 years already down pat. They've been working on it, they've been making advancements, but really, if they unloaded it, it'd be total chaos.
Yeah, people would be so scared.
I don't think people really want to know what we're capable of, because it is scary and the implications are huge. So it's a freaky time to be alive, but one of the coolest times in human history. I really believe that.
I completely agree with that statement, 100%. Because I don't know, man. Like I just think our time, like if you were born between like 95 and like 2002, like I really want to emphasize, even though I said it a couple minutes ago, like we're so blessed because we didn't. I got my first phone in like 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah.
Like that's almost unheard of now. Like basically like kids are on TikTok and they're like 9 years old or like 10 years old or something like that, or Instagram or doing whatever.
And I'm relatively anti-TikTok. I don't have it on my phone. Partly because of the China situation, partly because I know I'd be on it all day.
You just be scrolling through it.
But I've seen a little bit of it, and it's poisonous for a young mind to see some of the things. Even on my Instagram feed. I don't know how much you want to get into this. I know it's kind of a Radford radio show.
It's the Michael Marr Show.
Michael Marr Show. Okay, so we're getting into it then. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Baby. Say whatever you want, man.
I mean,
I can take it out.
It's pornographic. Everything you see is. I go through my Instagram feed. Rarely do I scroll down without seeing, an Insta reel of somebody,
doing something sexual.
Somebody doing something sexual with very few clothes on. I don't always mind it, but if I have a child growing up. I'm trying to teach them how to become a man, how to become a woman.
It gives people like a false sense of idea of like how to treat people. I feel like that's what I was talking to my dad about.
That's well put. Yeah.
It's like you almost see like a lot of like sexuality or sexual things on the social media or on social media, and you just think that's the appropriate way to act or that's the appropriate way to treat someone. So like, it just gives you this false belief of how
you should be and how you perceive other people.
It's hard to put into words, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think you and I have like the same idea when it comes to that.
No doubt. Yeah, so it's just hard, I don't know. I forget what topic brought that up, but
I don't know. We've been bouncing around. I love that. I've been enjoying this so far. We're 17 minutes in or 18 minutes in. But
we could keep spitting for days, man.
We really could, man. But Neuralink, it's one of those things, man. I don't know. Like I'm very curious, like when they do have their first human trial or the first humans get it installed, how many are going to get it installed, what's actually going to happen if you get it taken out, because I have a hard time believing how they showed the third pig and it was like, yeah, it had Neuralink and then we took it out and look how normal it is. I have a hard time believing that if you make an incision in someone's skull and put a microchip and then take it out, that there's going to be normal after that.
Right, because there's kind of an element, at least most people would believe, of consciousness. And a lot of people believe there's a spirit, a human spirit. Is your soul going to be the same? Is your temperament going to be the same? I doubt it. If you have that whole thing, you have a computer running through your brain, I don't think you're going to be the same person. Yeah, that pig is healthy and fine. He can like walk around. What is he thinking though?
Yeah,
is that pig happy?
Exactly.
I don't know if that's a human. I don't know what they're going to be going through. So that is hard. It's kind of like, yeah, maybe you can take back, there's take backs, but
is there really? That's what time will tell. So we might be listening to this podcast 20 years from now and being like, nah, man, it was a bad idea.
Yeah,
or we could be listening to it and we all have microchips in our head and we're like, man, why didn't we get it done back then? Like, why weren't we the first group? So
only time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell, dude. As it does with everything.
That's what we were talking about. It's such an exciting time to live. Everything that's being created and invented right now is just exponentially increasing.
Man, I love life.
Like
I truthfully love everything that we're going through right now. Like obviously you don't love everything that we're going through right now, but I feel like this year, like a lot of adversity is good for us.
Yeah.
Now, maybe not all at once, like how 2020 is just like a year of adversity. Maybe like it should have been spread out a little more. But hey, man, we didn't get to choose, so we just had to react to it.
I'm like-minded, dude. I'm of a similar mind where adversity, if taken the right way, will create greatness. You know, we've had it relatively easy. You know, I think our generation hasn't had too much struggle into 2008. You know, that kind of time
The
period.
stock market, yeah.
It was a rough little time period, but
Housing.
at least for you and I wasn't too conscious during that time. You know, I wasn't like thinking of the world and how scary things are and how down everything was.
Yeah.
So I think this could be really good, especially for our generation, like, you know, these late teenagers, early 20-year-olds, just young adults. Having this struggle and this adversity at such a crucial time, I think it's going to be amazing for us in the long run.
Yeah, this year will
Very
100%.
optimistic about it.
Say it again?
Very optimistic about it.
Yeah,
You know?
I love your optimism. I love optimism in general, but and I couldn't agree more with what you said.
Yeah.
But I just think, regardless of how this year plays out for the rest of the remainder of it, this year will be looked at as one of the most pivotal years in human history.
Everything's changing.
And
Everything around us is either crumbling or being built back up. You look at our institutions that we once held like to this high level, media, politics, you know, even education. 2020 has decimated all of that.
All of it.
You can't, I mean, at least personally, I don't trust the media. I don't trust any politicians
No.
or what they say or their motives. And really, education, you see just like that. I mean, we're on ZU. We were just talking about it. Zoom University.
Zoom University,
It's,
baby. Shout out Zoom University. Drop a like.
Yeah, exactly. Right. There's a lot of pros, but a lot of cons, and you can just see. Yeah, you know, maybe public university isn't going to be the path forward after we come out of this. You know, maybe things are changing.
I think
This instability could really bring on a lot of good things.
I think
A lot of changes.
one of the biggest things that a lot of people fail to realize is self-education is just as important, if not more important, than external education. And I don't know if external education is even a thing, but I just mean education from another person. I think it's more important to self-educate yourself and believe what you want to believe rather than believe what you're told. Like learn to believe. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like do your own research on everything. Like news. Like I don't do CNN. I don't do Fox. I don't do NBC News. I do my own research. Like I find topics. I find articles. I try to read on them and educate myself and formulate my own idea of how I think about it.
Right. Good on you. I mean, unfortunately, the truth is not many people do that. And that's why you see such division, you know, because when you listen to CNN or Fox or any of those, you know, major corporations, they're giving you a slanted view on the world, you know, and they're telling you what they want you to believe. And so you're right, introspection, critical thinking, really analyzing your situation, one of the most important things I think a lot of people just fail to do.
Yeah. Because I feel like there's always just an agenda being pushed.
Mm-hmm.
If you're ever watching a news outlet or anything, it's like, have your own agenda.
Yeah.
Have your own like aspirations and everything, and what you want to learn more of what you actually care about. And if you don't care about it, don't study it.
I really appreciate that worldview. It's like to build on that. I forgot what I was gonna say.
That happens all the time, dude. When I'm
Too bad.
recording,
It's too
I
deep.
was gonna say you're just like the motor going in your head,
I
and you just
know.
have so many different thoughts.
Yeah, I got that coffee running through, so I'm wired up right
Have you
now.
eaten today?
Yeah, I had some leftover Chipotle this morning. Actually,
What'd you
it's
get?
quite the breakfast.
Like, was it a bowl or a burrito?
So I got that Uber Eats like $10 off for my next order. So I got that burrito bowl, and then I've never had their tacos before, but I got 3 tacos.
They're good.
Yeah, the carnitas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes, dude. The carnita tacos
Yep.
are actually slapping.
Yep.
Have you guys been eating a lot out, like at Waffle House and everything?
Unfortunately, yeah, it's been a really tough year for my bank account because we're I don't know how many listeners know the layout of Tech, but we're right on the brink of campus and right in the trifecta, you know, the metropolis of food. We're next to
Everything.
Waffle House, Italiano's, Black Salt, Taco Bell,
Insomnia
McDonald's,
cookies.
Insomnia, Zaxby's. Zaxby's has changed my life. You know, I've always been a Popeyes guy. That Zag sauce, dude.
The Zag
It's
sauce?
no joke.
You think it's better than Popeyes?
I don't think so, but
it's close.
I've been eating a lot of Zaxby's. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it
at
there.
that, dude. It's, we've been eating out a lot, unfortunately.
That's one of the good things about where I live is I'm in the boonies, dude. Like there's literally no restaurants. I'm sure when you were driving up to my apartment complex today,
Yeah.
whole lot of nothing, dude.
Yeah, you know, I was a whole lot of nothing, but just so scenic and beautiful, man. I was pulling up literally as soon as I turned on, I think it's New River Drive.
New River Drive, yeah.
I just saw a deer.
Giving up,
doe.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't cut that
Whoa.
out. Pull up.
All right.
No, I'm
fair
just kidding,
enough.
don't actually pull up.
Beach parties under 10.
Yeah, under 10.
There's just a beautiful doe just kind of galloping right alongside my car. What a beautiful place to live. You know, we're so lucky living here in
In the
New
mountain.
River Valley, man.
I love it. I mean, because like you said, we're not really near anything. I mean, Blacksburg and Christiansburg, there's a little bit happening there. Like, there's some good shopping places. There's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I feel like, for the most part, this area, Southern Virginia, pretty dry compared to Nova.
Yeah.
Well, obviously compared to Nova. I mean, Nova is like a completely different state from the rest of Virginia.
Yeah.
But
And sorry, I know you're kind of high wired. I think I am a little bit, maybe not as much as you, but I think there's a lot of aspects that we really enjoy of being kind of away from that constant, you know, go, work hard, study,
Yeah.
you know, make money. There's a lot of aspects just relax, man. Come out by the mountains, look out at the creek, you know.
yeah.
No,
We definitely have that in common, that we like peace and scenery.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, just doing things on our own. Like, almost like an introverted, like, I feel like I've become more introverted since I got to college. I just
Interesting.
truthfully like
Yeah.
my alone time. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
granted, that being said, I like going out, I like seeing people, I like hanging out with people. But I really have tried to become comfortable with alone time.
isolation.
Yeah, but not just like alone time, like, okay, I'm not bored while I'm alone. Like, being productive while I'm alone. Like, actually
Yeah.
getting stuff done when no one else is around or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, I think that's crucial. It's something that was kind of forced upon us by quarantine.
Yeah, it really was.
To a certain extent. You know, we still see people, and obviously we both live with other roommates. But really, for a little while we had no option. We were locked down for a bit.
Yeah, dude.
And I think that really kind of like emphasized that.
My dad was not fly with me hanging out with anyone for like a
Really?
little while. Dude, yeah, from like
I didn't even see you this summer. So like I don't know how it was for you.
from
really.
like March to like what's that? Like May, like middle of May, did not let me see anyone. Like, I tried, like, whenever I did podcasts, I would have to do them under the deck. Excuse me. That was the only time I would see people. Like, I was not allowed to go hang out with people. I was not allowed to have people over. So, like, I would either have to, like, sneak someone over to do a podcast under the deck, or, you know what I mean? Like, he would be like, what are you doing outside? I'm like, oh, this is a podcast. I don't want to come outside.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
he was just not cool with it. But,
I mean, you can't blame him. It was a scary time.
It was.
For a while. And he's an older gentleman as well. Same with my parents. It's like, I don't want, I totally respect it if they want to lock down, For me.
But you can't lock down the lion.
No, you can't.
But you can't lock down the lion.
That's a great point.
No,
it's impossible.
Love the parents, love my parents, love your parents, great people. Honestly, shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Burkholder and your sister if she's watching. Shout out my mom, my parents, my family if anyone's watching. Shout out everyone for watching. We're not even close to done with this episode, but it's been a good one so far. I've honestly had a really good time just relaxing and talking and just chatting it up. Because like normally I have a couple questions like lined up and we just go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
this has just been like we're just flowing.
My apologies too. I know you do kind of want to get that itinerary in.
No, dude, do not apologize. I'm literally having a great time. Like this is perfect.
Good.
This is awesome.
Same here, man. Yeah, I'm just. We've been talking about this podcast for a
28
long
minutes.
time.
Yeah, 28 minutes, and we're only on the first topic. But should we get into the would you rather questions now?
Yeah.
Branch off into those.
Let's push onward, man.
Yeah. We're gonna keep it on the AI type vibe for one question. Would you rather have robots or aliens attempt to take over the universe?
Great question. Aliens.
I feel like they're
100%.
nicer.
Interesting. Maybe we can attribute some emotion to them at least, whereas robots kind of always like idealized as like cold, no emotion, just
heartless.
Efficiency, heartless. Yeah. So
Quite literally and figuratively.
Yes, exactly. Maybe aliens have a little blood pumping in them.
Yeah, a little emotion.
Hey, we might. You never know, dude. We might be chilling. You might have an alien on the podcast at some point.
That'd be sick.
You never know. The way things are going in 2020, dude. I wouldn't be. Nothing could surprise me at this point.
Did you see the Pentagon release the info about the UFOs?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. I mean, partly from I don't want to keep talking about Rogan. Don't want to be one of those guys, but I mean, partly from his podcast.
Yeah.
I've been knowing about that for so long. I mean, he's had those guys on, Bob Lazar. He had the pilot that recorded that video that the Pentagon released on, and it seems like validating to be like, oh yeah, And if my dad is watching, my dad's always a little more cynical than I am. So I always come to him with these crazy conspiracies, you know, you see the new alien footage, you see like, someone says, you know, and he's always, nah, come on, what are you talking about, son? And then,
there's solid concrete information now about it. I mean, when I saw that footage or those pictures, I was like, whoa, man.
And we can't necessarily prove that there's aliens, that those crafts are aliens. What it proves without a doubt is that, like we were talking about before, there's technology that's not released to the public yet. They have these advancements in technology that they're not letting people know. They're not letting on. You know?
Oh, dude, they're hiding.
And so, if nothing else, it proves that.
Yeah. I think the silence, some of the silence that the government sometimes does, tells more than if they actually release the information. Like if you're silent about something, it's kind of like raising a red flag, in my opinion. Like the silence is giving it away that there's something. Yeah. I'm not saying that like all the conspiracies are true, but I'm just saying where there's smoke, there's fire.
Right.
In my opinion, and there's definitely smoke coming out of the U.S. government.
A lot of smoke blowing, dude.
So man, I don't know. It's
interesting. I think.
So you say alien, or you'd rather have aliens?
I say aliens, partly because I think we have no choice but to have robots take over. I think we're kind of on that inevitable path right now.
Yeah.
Because
we're fueling it.
We're fueling it. We talk about Neuralink for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You know, if robots don't take over, then robot humans will take over the world. We're going to evolve into some sort of post-human species where we utilize this technology. Like you said, maybe like transfer that interface, you know, transfer our consciousness in some form or the other. So I feel like we're kind of already on that path. So it'd be much cooler and much more like unpredictable if we see some aliens come in.
Yeah, that'd be a little curveball in there.
Right.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
All right. Another would you rather question. I know you're a big coffee guy, so hopefully this one stumps you.
Ooh, yeah, I didn't see this one.
Would you rather never have coffee again or never be able to put ice in your drinks?
This is a hard hitter, man, because I'm a huge coffee guy, but I'm also a major ice guy. I love cold water. I do like iced coffee at sometimes. I'm gonna go with no ice though, because coffee just fuels me, man. I don't know.
You can always refrigerate it.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah, we have that luxury as well. Just put it in the fridge overnight, and it's gonna be ice cold in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go with no ice. I'm a huge coffee guy, like you said. I know. I don't know. High school never drank it. Came into freshman year of college, and we had that Dunkin' on campus.
Oh, damn.
I'm not going to credit my my academic success to Dunkin' Donuts, but a huge portion of it was that cold brew.
Yeah.
That large cold brew, light ice, and a shot of espresso in there.
Dude.
And it would change your day.
Like you said, ever since, because I didn't drink coffee in high school either, but when I came to college, I had become fascinated by iced coffee.
Yeah.
Fascinated.
Yeah.
Like, it is life-changing, bro. Like, I honestly prefer iced coffee over like hot coffee.
Yeah, I think I do too. That being said, I'm drinking hot coffee right now. I don't know if you guys see. I want to shout out my favorite coffee brand. It's called Da Bomb. DA Bomb.
Oh, I know. I'm familiar with that from last year.
I think I might have put you on. It's this double caffeinated K-cup. So you just pop it in your Keurig.
Morning heart attack.
Yeah, it'll get the blood flowing every morning. So that brand alone has kind of changed my mind on hot coffee, because I never used to drink it before that. But yeah, probably prefer iced coffee. I remember freshman year I came visit you a couple times. I remember multiple occasions where you took me to that Starbucks the morning after, and you got me that.
Yeah, the Starbucks right over here.
Indeed, yeah, that same one.
Yeah.
I forget what drink you put me on to, but it was
the cloud macchiato?
Yeah.
Caramel macchiato?
Yeah.
One of the macchiatos, yeah.
One of those.
One of the macchiatos.
Yeah, I'm a K-cup guy, so all I know is coffee, but it was some macchiato latte.
Dude, yeah. Shout out Alex Corrado. He actually got me onto the macchiato, and then I've gotten so many other people on. So he's almost like the pioneer of the mock game.
Interesting. Yeah. Wow, that's quite the title, dude. I would
the mock game.
Yeah. I'd be honored to be bestowed with such a name.
Yeah.
Macchiato King.
Dude, like you said,
Shout out Corrado, dude. What a guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy, dude. I haven't seen or talked to him in quite some time. Hopefully he's doing well at JMU. JMU's not doing well.
I was about to say that. If you want to talk about COVID a little bit too, JMU is really taking a hard hit.
Yeah.
I think we all are, but JMU really just kind of dropped the ball.
Yeah, they did not last long, dude. They literally, I want to say it was like 4 days, 5 days.
Yeah.
If I'm off by a day.
Yeah, man.
It's one of those things like, how do you let it get so bad so fast?
Yeah.
Like, how is there, like, I don't know, man. And I know they weren't trying to stop it because I was seeing Snapchat stories of just nonstop partying. And I'm like, I like to party just as much as the next guy. But that doesn't mean I'm going to, you know what I mean, right when we get back to school.
We need
look how it
to
ended.
take a strategic partying approach where, like, you know, well, let's have fun, but let's not go crazy and get everyone, you know, contaminated.
Yeah.
My conspiratorial tendencies, though, kind of tell me, James, you might have had this planned all along. I don't know if you want to get into that. Get that check, man. They're all after the bag. It's just become blatantly obvious, and honestly, it's a slap in the face, man.
No, it totally is, and I thought Radford was going to do that too, because there were talks. Because I don't know if you know this, but we were on the New York Times top 10 hotspot list, like a week and a half after getting here, and my mom was texting me, and I was talking with her, and she was like, "There's no way you guys last much longer," blah blah. And I thought, they were just going after the check too. Mm-hmm. And then I was talking with someone else the other day, and they said actually they haven't announced it, but if things get bad here, they're going to just move everyone online, but you're allowed to stay in your dorm. Campus food will remain open.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically they're not after the check. Yeah. It appeared like that at first glance.
Maybe
but,
the one school that's actually... is that mine? I thought it was yours, dude. My bad, man.
You're good.
Yeah, it's been going on.
Like in the background. At first I thought it was mine at first, and then I went like that, and then I was like, oh, it's mine.
Yeah, my bad, dude.
You're good.
Everyone listening is just like, come on, turn it off.
Like, turn that off.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have the highest hopes for Radford, but it's been cool to see you guys kind of pull through, persevere. And that's good to hear that they're not really after the tuition money.
Yeah.
I know Tech. Okay, I'm gonna drop something that might not be common knowledge. Supposedly Virginia Tech is trying really hard to there it is. Tech is trying really hard to shut down, but the town of Blacksburg is apparently really against it because they're already more or less ruined from coronavirus. You know, and if they don't have students here this fall,
like the restaurants.
The restaurants I mean, the football team brings in like $69 million a year.
And stadium.
That's a lot of money for a community to just not have. And you never like 2 years ago, a year ago, it was inconceivable to be like, oh, we just won't have that source of income. There's always going to be football. There's always going to be fans back in the stadium.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, but here we are, and they don't have that football. So the town of Blacksburg is apparently pushing really hard to keep us here.
Yeah.
And so that might be our saving grace this fall. We'll see.
I think sending people home makes the least amount of sense because you're literally sending a bunch of kids that are contaminated or have had it or have been around it right back home with their potentially high-risk parents, grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever. So
and even if it's not their family, they're passing to somebody at home. You know,
they're passing to like Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Like come on, like dishing off COVID, like behind the back.
I like that, man. We could talk about Chris Paul too, man. He's had an interesting past week or so.
No, man, they lost in the playoffs.
He said
he's not a winner.
It's hard when you say I'm the man and you don't deliver. You know, he said I'm that guy who's taking that last shot, and he opted not to shoot the last shot.
Yeah.
And they lost.
So are you really Allstate? Is Allstate going to drop him? Should they drop him?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's...
No, he does well in those Allstate commercials sometimes.
He's not bad. Some of them are humorous, you know. Yeah. As far as commercials go, they're not the worst.
No, yeah. But, I like the deer one where they're like the deer knocks over all the bowling pins or all the bowling balls.
Right.
And then like kicks out his windshield or something.
That one's funny. Yeah.
That's a clever one.
That got a few chuckles out of me for the first maybe a couple months it was on.
Yeah, and then they just...
With Oscar, right, from The Office?
Dude, they beat it like a dead horse, dude. Yeah, it was the guy from The Office.
Yeah, but I wish I knew his name. It's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah, I wasn't... I mean, like, I watched a little bit of The Office. I've seen, like, episodes here and there, but I wasn't someone that, like, watched all season 1, all season 2, all season 3.
Yeah.
I didn't really follow along with it like that.
Fan, necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, okay, should we do the last Would You Rather question?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, last one. Would you rather have your dream car right now or never have to pay for wings ever again?
That's actually a good one, man.
And not just B-Wings, like any, like, wherever you go to get
I would hope it would be B-Wings, though, because I've never had a better wing.
Oh, yeah, no, it could be wings.
All our Nova heads listening, shout out Buffalo Wing Factory.
Yeah, so many Buffalo Wing Factory fans.
Yeah. How could you not be?
Yeah.
I'd say dream car. I'm going to have to go with the dream car, which would probably be the Cybertruck, Tesla.
Ooh, Ooh, tri-motor?
Yeah.
Get the souped up edition?
Yeah, I love it.
Dang, dude. Nikola actually just came out with their new autonomous truck yesterday. Their stock price was rewarded 44%.
Wow.
Up 44.
Wow.
Yeah, that's big time. Let me show you. Actually, my phone. I can't show you. I'm sorry. My phone's up there recording. I'll show you after when we end the podcast.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
a nasty looking truck though. But the Cybertruck,
word.
nothing cooler than that, man.
Yeah. I just like we talked about, huge Elon fan. I would love to support him, but mostly I'd love to have that truck.
So that's like
I can't imagine. I drive a 2006 Honda Accord right now. I love it. Nothing wrong with it. But I can't imagine the feeling riding down the road in that Cybertruck.
Dude, you feel like a tank. Like you can just absolutely maul through anything because you can. I mean, if you really wanted to, because you could.
You're kind of driving a tank.
Yeah. Speaking of cars, man, we were actually running into some car troubles the last couple weeks.
It's a good segue. Yeah.
I'll break the ice real quick. If my mom's listening, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. I went out to my car like 2 days ago for the first time that day, and my car from the outside, like my driver door, wouldn't open. And so I was so confused. And the handle on the left side had been like almost like ripped out. Like someone had like literally just been sitting there like yanking at it. And so yeah, long story short, now if I want to get in my car, at least in the driver's seat, I have to go in through the passenger and then just reach my arm around, unlock it from the inside, push the door open, and then walk around. So it's kind of a hassle, but hey man, it's better than having a car. Or it's better than not having a car.
It is better than that, but I mean, that is inconvenient, man, to the max. That's
and it looks sus. Like when I'm on campus and like there's kids around me and I'm like
Yeah.
like reaching in between my car to like open, like they're like, dude, what is going on? Is this kid breaking into this Mazda?
Honestly, yeah, you're gonna probably have some encounters with the police if you're not careful.
Yeah,
If you don't get that
12.
fixed.
12.
Yeah, it literally looked like someone was just really prying at that handle.
Yeah. But should we
don't
talk
know,
about
man.
Doms?
Let's talk about Doms, and I'll bring up mine before we do that, because Doms is really that big hitter, man.
Doms
he's
is
the
that-
most unfortunate situation. But
The
also,
most.
I recently, parking at where I live in Blacksburg is very limited. So we have one parking spot, or one parking pass for the lot, and then one parking pass for the overflow lot, right?
Wait, for all four of you guys?
We have 4 cars here, and we have 2 spots. And the overflow lot seldomly has spaces. There's like 10 spots, and there's 30 apartments that are trying to park there.
That's terrible. How many people? 4 people in an apartment?
Yeah. Four people in an apartment.
So it's at 120
And there's,
people?
yeah, exactly. Quick math. So it's just ridiculous. So we've been parking all over Blacksburg, just bumming like, hey, can I park at your place tonight? So I was at our good friend, our mutual friend, Todd Bollinger. Shout out Todd.
Shout out Todd, man. He's a legend.
Right.
Honestly, one of the coolest kids.
Exactly. Just one of the most genuine guys. I could go on and on about him, the kind of guy that would let me park at his house overnight. So I was parked at his house. I go get my car, I'm door dashing, tire blows all the way out, dude. My front left tire just ruined. I thought somebody had slashed it, because I'd never seen a tire look like that. There's 3 big gashes on the side. So recently I ran into some car troubles too. Had to get those front 2 tires replaced.
Did you get it? You got it out the shop though? Like it's.
Yeah, luckily, I mean, it was like a miracle, dude. I had 2 knights in shining armor, 2 real Blacksburg cowboys come and save me. There's a guy pulled off right behind me. Hey man, looks like you have a flat. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you know what you're doing? I'm like, not really, man. Like, can you help me? He's like, yeah. Just goes into his house, gets a jack.
Dang, what a nice guy.
Yeah, it was amazing. Him and his cousin came out. We like chatted. Just great experience.
Yeah.
Dom did not have such luck.
No.
So I don't know. You can tell the story. You're there's nothing else a great storyteller. So
yeah, I know a little bit about it. Fill me in on the information I get wrong. But long story short, so there's an apartment complex right next to your guys' apartment complex. Like if you're on your balcony and you look out, long story short, yeah.
It's the same complex, but like a different building.
Yeah.
Facing.
So there's a kid that's in a fraternity. I don't know what fraternity it is, and we don't even have to name it because
we'll keep it discreet.
Keep it discreet. No publicity. But anyway, what was he backing out?
I'm honestly not too sure. I think he was pulling into a spot.
Long story short, barely hits this kid's car.
Yeah.
Right? Like
just a scratch.
Yeah, just a scratch. And Dom even said he buffed it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like he buffed it out.
He got a little toothbrush and some toothpaste.
Yeah.
Cleaned it up.
Yeah. And well, anyway, long story short, the kid was not having it at all. and he told Dom he was gonna call the cops and press charges or whatever if he didn't just give Dom cash to take care of it right away.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting a couple quotes on it. Dom said he went to like the most expensive places to get quotes. How much did he ask him for? Like,
he was looking for $1,300 to start.
that's ridiculous. And what did he settle on? Like 700?
Yeah.
Still, because you know this kid's not getting his car fixed.
And the issue was he was threatening to get the authorities involved, threatening to call his insurance, and really putting Dom like a pickle here. You know, if he didn't pay up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just people like that in the world. You know, it's a shame, but
That kid just must be sour.
yeah,
Like, why would you want like?
you gotta
I
feel
would-
bad for a guy like that.
I wouldn't. Unless you like totally barreled my car and like I actually have to go get it fixed, like something that makes the car like not operable or anything like that. Like I'm not gonna like, you know what I mean? Like maybe like a couple $100 or something like that. But I'm not gonna go get a quote from the most expensive place and say, hey, $1,300, kid. Like that's like a slap in the face, man.
To be honest, I think both of us. I mean, if we had a little dent or a scratch, I don't think we would do anything.
No, neither do I, dude. Because I've been blessed. Like I remember one time, I just got my car like 3 months before, and I was at Stonebridge, and I remember Kara, Kyle's sister, Kara Tkarchuk, asked me to take her home from school, and I was like, yeah, sure. So I'm driving her home, and I whip into one of their parking spaces at Kyle's house, and I'm like right next to his dad's car, or her dad's car, and I'm like, oh, sheesh, like maybe your dad should like move the car or something, like I don't know how I'm gonna be able to get out without hitting him, because I was like in there sideways, I was in there like this, and you know, it was just like all sorts of messed up. She was like, no, don't worry about it, like you're good. And so I start to back out. I barely scratch it, and like I'm like tripping at this point. I'm like, dude, like I feel so bad. But Mr. Karchuk's like one of my second dads, like second or third dad. I've known him since I was like 9 years old.
Yeah.
He was so cool about it. I mean, I come in their house like panicking. I'm like, Mr. Karchuk, I just hit your car. Like I'm so sorry. I was like 16 at the time, 17, and he was like, Michael, like let me look at it. And he looked at it and he was like, I just don't care, man. He was like, absolutely don't worry about it. He was like, you gotta like. I went to Advanced Auto and got some stuff and took care of it. But it's one of those things like he was just so generous to me. Not generous, but you know, like he was just so like. He understandable is the word I'm looking for. He was just so understandable with the mistake that I made.
I mean, he's a stand-up guy, you know, and like you said, he's kind of, hey, there's bigger things going on, you know.
Yeah.
Why is he gonna care about his, you know?
Exactly. And then you got other
Michael
kids
Moore denting up his car, you know.
Yeah.
Bigger issues.
It was the Kia too. It wasn't even his truck.
Oh, okay.
It was
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe that's why he didn't care.
I think that might be it.
If it was the truck, he'd be like, "Oh no."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he'd have me running laps to practice because we were still playing football at the time.
Those days, man.
Yeah, he would be torturing me.
Hey, before we continue, can you hear me through the mic?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Because I can't hear you through my headphones.
Did it take out or like stop?
No, I just realized like I don't think I have been listening through my headphones the whole time.
Wait, when you talk in the microphone though, can you hear it on your?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just want to make sure we're still getting audio.
Oh yeah, no. I can see it. Yeah,
All
you're getting audio on your left mic.
Okay.
Over there.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, see, when I talk, I can hear it. It's like echoes in my ear. So it's kind of weird at first. Like the first couple podcasts I did, it took so long to get used to.
Yeah.
But now I kind of like it. Like it kind of sounds
true.
good. Like I don't
Sound
know.
like Howard Stern, like
Yeah.
got that full like radio vibe.
Yeah. But at first I did not like it at all.
Yeah,
I was
kind of
like,
glad, honestly, that I can't hear.
Yeah,
that
I was like,
because-
it's echoing. Like I gotta stop. Like you know what I mean. And I ended up just doing them a couple episodes with the micro or with the headset off. But then I was like, you know, might as well. I gotta get used to it. If I'm gonna keep doing these, I gotta get used to it.
I like
So,
the dedication.
Yeah. Now let's get into some random topics / questions that I have from Matt. We're gonna start. Like I said, it's his birthday, man. That's the first random topic / question we have. Today is his birthday. Not actually today, but tomorrow when you guys are getting this. Make sure to wish him a happy birthday. The big 21 piece.
Hey,
that's big time.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's and we're definitely gonna be hanging out this weekend. You said something about Claytor Lake. Maybe going down to the lake.
Yeah, you know, given the times and coronavirus, you know, things are gonna be real low key. I think might postpone the celebration to Friday or Saturday. Hit up Claytor Lake. It's a real popular location for the youth of Blacksburg and Radford. Yeah, we're might be hitting that up during the day. Have a nice afternoon. Supposed to be nice weather. You know, go celebrate at the lake. Enjoy the outdoors, and then go to El Rod's, my favorite Mexican food location.
Yeah.
They'll be serving up some nice margaritas, and if you're coming with, I'll have to get you excited here. Last time we went for Eric's birthday, we got a round of flaming shots.
Flaming shots?
And it was like nothing else, dude. It was delicious, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They light that shit on.
Dude, I'm definitely gonna be there.
Excuse me. They light that light that shot on fire.
Oh yeah.
And you just put the straw in, suck it down, get that heat in the throat, man. It's
That's
a good time. Gets all the boys rowdy.
Yeah, and we got some fights on Saturday. I mean, not any good ones. Honestly, like, not even worth talking about. But
I think the Jake Paul fight was supposed to be scheduled, and the Mike Tyson fight was supposed to be scheduled for this weekend.
That was this weekend.
Postponed, so it would have been almost too huge if we had the 21st and the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul and Nate Robinson.
Oh my goodness, that would have been nuts.
Disgusting. Yeah.
Nevertheless, though, I mean, we're gonna have some college football games on. We're gonna have some fights on. We're gonna have some NBA basketball, playoff basketball, NHL playoff.
And let's not forget NFL debut on my birthday night,
Thursday night.
So,
should we talk about that real quick?
Let's discuss it.
Yeah. So tomorrow night or tonight, whichever one you guys are actually, it is tonight. Chiefs versus Texans, kicking off the 2020 NFL season. Game starts at 8:30 on ESPN. Chiefs are favored by 9 points. 54.5 is the over/under. Yep. What do you think about the spread? What do you think about the over/under? And overall, what do you think about the game?
Right. I like the over/under for sure. I like the over in that. It's a little high, but I think we're going to have a high-scoring game there. It's going to be a high-scoring affair.
Yeah.
I think people sleep on Deshaun Watson. I think he's a dedicated man, and he's coming out this 2020-21 season with some fire in him.
Yeah.
I think he's looking to lead a team to the Super Bowl.
Now, he doesn't have his primary weapon, DeAndre Hopkins, anymore. He got traded to the Arizona Cardinals, but they did get Arizona's old running back, David Johnson. I'm excited to see what he can do.
I know you are excited about that because, as I saw earlier, got him in your lineup for fantasy, man. So I'll cross my fingers for you for a big week for old D Johnson.
Yeah, and we're gonna get a league together. Hopefully, Eric is able to get it set up for us, whether it's tonight or tomorrow.
Clock's ticking, man.
Clock is ticking, and yeah, that'd be fun to have a league with the boys again, like we did last year.
It'd be awesome,
and to have money on it, because last year we did not have money on it, but it was still fun. But you could tell, like, when teams weren't doing well, kids were kind of like, you know what? What is the point of even doing this?
I think almost every year I've done fantasy, we've just failed to actually put money in. We've neglected to do it before the draft. The draft happens. Everyone with a bad team just doesn't want to put money in anymore, and it just ruins the whole purpose.
Well, that's what last year when I was the commission, I was trying to collect money from people post draft. Yeah. Some kids were like, "No, I drafted a terrible team. I don't want to pay."
Yeah.
And I was in my head, I'm like, dude, so you're telling me if you had paid me $10 before the draft, you would have drafted different players? No. You drafted because you thought they were good picks at the time. And then the draft ended and you looked at Matt's team and you said, oh, he's got them? Bro, that's your fault. It has nothing to do with $10 before the draft, $10 after the draft. Your football knowledge is your football knowledge. You're going to pick who you're going to pick regardless of if you pay before or after. So for the people that are watching, square up. Square up and
pay up, dude.
Exactly. If you say you're going to do a money league, do the money league. It doesn't matter what they do, because in my dad's work league that I've been doing for 10 years, some people don't pay until the very end of the season.
But they pay.
Exactly. So it's if you square up, there's no harm.
It's a matter of principle. If you agree to do this league, you're wasting your money. You're just shedding money out, but you signed up for it, so pay your money.
Exactly.
It's just a good PSA for all the fantasy players out there.
Yeah, I love fantasy football.
Pay up, man.
So much.
Yeah, but I'm excited for this. If we're on a subject too, I'll let you know we're doing something crazy at the apartment. You might want to get involved.
Okay, I'd love to.
So we're doing college football pick'ems. We're going to pick collectively, kind of come to a consensus, the top 10 college football games of the week, each week. We're going to select them and put up a sheet, a sign on the wall, and we're all going to do pick'ems. For college football, put in set amount of money, a unit or two. And then for NFL, we're doing spread Sundays, picking the spreads every Sunday.
Ooh.
So it's gonna get heated. So we're gonna have fantasy, we're gonna have just regular sports betting, and then we're gonna have the apartment pick'ems and the apartment spread bets.
That's sick. I would
every week
100% join in on the college one, because I'm actually already in a pick'em league for the NFL that I've been in for 4 or 5 years. But
you got it all. Is that with your dad's work as well?
It is. My dad's work because everything. I do March Madness with them. Yeah. They got all sorts of stuff going on.
I don't want to out any information, but that league has been lucrative for you. I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, that your dad's work league has been.
I have feasted.
It's been a blessing for you, yeah.
I have, when I'm not playing fantasy football, when it's in the off season. So on my phone, when you sign in on my phone, you know how you can make folders for apps.
Yeah.
You can I have all my social media in a folder. I have all my school stuff in a folder. When I'm not playing fantasy football, I put it in my Munchies folder with all of like the Groupon
Let's go.
and like Chick-fil-A app and McDonald's app, because you know that I eat in that app.
Interesting.
Yahoo Fantasy Football.
That might be one of the boldest things I've ever heard.
So I might as well put it in the Munchies folder because
wow,
it is what it is.
Wow,
it is what it is.
Wow. I can't believe you just said that. Or that's hardcore, man.
Yeah, I know.
That's how you know you're about your business.
I love fantasy football, dude. Like I don't know why people don't play. Like, it just makes watching it so much fun. And like there's some times where like I have a terrible team. Like last year my team was alright. The year before that it was not good, and it still makes it fun to watch. Like you know what I mean? Like even if you have a losing record, it's just I don't know. It gives you another reason to watch the game.
Yeah, that's another thing with technology, man. Things are so enjoyable, so entertaining. You know, the amount of like sports we're privy to, and then if that wasn't enough, oh yeah, here, put some money on this, get some fantasy going on that. You know, it's a
life.
It's a great life, especially when you take advantage of it the way you do. You
know,
making some dimes.
Yeah. Now let's talk about some real life sporting events that we've actually gone to. Man, Matt and I have been so blessed to go to so many phenomenal sporting games together. We're going to start with last year. Virginia Tech versus UNC, 6 overtimes is what that game went into. Virginia Tech ended up winning. Who was that game? It was you, Dominic, Timmy Nealon, and myself. And we did not leave until the final whistle, bro. We were there for the opening kickoff, and we were there until all 6 overtimes ended.
Right. A lot of fakes left.
A lot of fakes left at halftime. I remember we were going to leave at halftime because I remember LSU was playing Alabama that night.
I know, and we all wanted to catch that.
But there were bigger things.
Yeah.
Like the longest ACC game in history.
Oh, yeah.
That's more important. Like, you know what I mean? Like, would you rather go to that?
That we personally witnessed. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of made that happen. I think if you want to go to an entertaining sports game, recruit Mike and I to go because we have been blessed with some, just once-in-a-lifetime opportunities.
Yeah.
So, we're talking 6 overtimes, UNC Tech game, just back and forth. There was missed field goals, missed extra points.
We had money on the over. I had money on the over, and that cleared in the third quarter or something like that.
Yeah, we were living that night. We were living.
But man, I just remember such a back and forth game, 6 overtimes. No one could really clutch it. Field goal kickers were missing stuff. Quarterbacks were missing passes. But I remember in the fourth quarter, with like 2 minutes left, Tech is down. The quarterback, Patterson, 70-yard run right towards us.
Yep.
And he literally ran into the end zone right into us because we were in East end zone?
Yeah, or north stands.
North stands.
Right in the end zone, yeah.
Yeah, north stands. But we had second or third row.
Yeah.
Second or third row. It was money.
Because people had left. So we made our way down to those front row seats. And I think he might have blown a kiss to us because he was.
I think he did.
He was staring right at us.
I'm pretty sure he did. 100%. That was when I scalped one of the tickets from those guys. Remember, I used to always scalp the tickets.
Yeah.
Those are classic.
Dude, you know how to hustle. You know how to negotiate.
Every time I'd go to, because I was going to Tech all the time last year. I'd be there on Friday night, and we wake up, and you guys would end up going to the game, and I wouldn't have a ticket, and I would just have to find someone that was selling tickets outside the stadium. But man, some of the people are asking for way too much money. Like the game has already started, and they're like $50. I'm like, 15 $15, $20, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And at the end of the day, they'll more often than not side with you, because if you just keep, you know what I'm saying, like, hey man, the game's going on, the longer you hold on to that ticket, the more value it loses. So get the value while you can right now.
You just have to throw down some valid points, like, look, who's going to buy your ticket, man?
Yeah.
You're going to go home empty-handed if you don't give this ticket.
Exactly.
$20, you know?
Okay, another sporting event that we went to, this was like 8 months before the Virginia Tech UNC game.
In the winter,
in the winter, I was able to get some box suites for us to the Wizards game. It was Wizards versus Suns.
I think like January, February,
Yeah, it was something like that. It may have been December.
Yeah, maybe December. I'm trying to think.
I think it was December.
NBA season.
Yeah, but anyway, long story short, I was able to get my hands on some sweet tickets for the boys, and we went to the game. It went in to 4 overtimes.
Yeah.
4 overtimes.
Little reboot.
Yeah, I just got to sign back in.
Gotcha.
But
just another one of those experiences where you're kind of sitting there watching and just wondering, is this really happening?
Yeah.
It's the Wizards Suns, it wasn't like some incredible game,
But 4 overtimes is one of those things that never happens in the NBA. Like maybe you get an overtime, maybe double overtime. 4 overtimes?
And we were boxed up. We were in that suite and
we were boxed up.
We were boxed up.
We were boxed up in the box.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
That's one way to put it.
And so we were just having the time of our lives. I remember there's a Suns fan in the box adjacent to us.
Oh yeah,
You remember that
wearing
guy?
the Barkley jersey, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
if I'm not mistaken.
He was on
It
his own. He literally had the box to himself.
Yeah, and he was just going nuts, just devastated by their loss, which made it all the much better for us. You know?
Yeah, man, what a game!
Yeah.
I just hope they can allow fans to come back soon, so then we can try to get our hands on some more tickets.
Yeah.
But that's
We'll
not
have
the
to.
last game. The last game that we've been to together was I want to say it was like after Thanksgiving last year during the football season. Long story short, Redskins versus Lions. A whole army of us went. We had like 6 people go, or like 5 or 6 people
Squad
go.
was rolling that day, man. We had, I think Benji was there.
Eric,
Dom,
you,
Jimmy might have been
myself.
there.
I don't think Jimmy was there.
Lost
May have
my
been.
mistake. No, I think you're right.
I don't think so though.
Um,
But anyway, long story short,
Yeah.
we bought tickets to sit up high because it was Redskins Lions. Both teams were pretty bad at the time. It was like week 13, week 12, or something like that. But yeah, bought tickets to sit up high. And in the first quarter, I remember I spotted some seats down low, and I was like, "Hey man, in the lower bowl, I was like, we should try to get our butts on those seats." And so we walk out, and we don't go down like the normal. Like path, like where it's like the snake garage where like it gets you
Yeah,
down
just
the levels,
back,
where it's just like back and forth.
we took a little shortcut.
Yeah, we took a little shortcut. It's like there was a staircase like right next to the elevator, and the elevator you weren't allowed to use it. Like you had to have like a fob or something to get on it.
Yeah.
But I remember we go down the stairwell and we're walking, and we got to what I thought was the first bowl, like the door to the first bowl. Like I thought we were low enough, but we were actually on the second deck. And so I open up the door, and it's just a suite. It just literally opens right up to a suite, and there's like a buffet and everything going on, and like so many people. And I remember I closed the door, and I look at Matt, and I'm like, "Hey, like." No one. We just opened up that door, and like no one said anything. Him and I are in the stairwell at FedEx Field, looking at each other. And we're like, "Hey, should we go back in there and just try to like watch the rest of the game in this suite?"
I remember that moment so distinctively. You know.
Yeah.
We were really just like, "Is this happening?
Yeah.
Should we pursue this?"
Yep. And we walked right in, acted like we owned the place, got a full plate of food. I remember they had like wings and like Chinese food and cakes and
not
water.
only did they have that buffet, but they had cheerleaders walking the food around on
Yep.
platters.
Yep.
With like cocktail drinks.
Dude, what a day!
It was
and
incredible.
yes,
There's definitely a couple ex-Redskins there as well.
yeah, there was
Washington football
so
team
many people.
players.
And it was a
Yeah.
good box too. Like it was like
Oh, yeah.
right behind one of the end zones.
Remember those boys we sat next to too? We had some older gentlemen.
Yeah, they bought us a couple beers.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I don't know. I remember the waitress came and we just added right on. We're like, "Yo, we'll take some too."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure yeah. And then he was like, "Did I pay for those?" Then he
Nah.
asked us, and we were like, "Nah, bro, no, you didn't pay
Yeah.
for those." But yeah, so we watched the rest of the Redskins games
goodness,
in the
man, yeah.
box. So we paid like what was it, like $9 for a ticket,
Yeah.
and we ended up watching the game in a $300
Like the
ticket.
entire second half, more or less.
Because it was, dude, the food
Yeah.
was the biggest part to me.
Yeah.
Because like if
We
you're
were
at FedEx
starved,
Field,
too,
if you're at FedEx Field and you're trying to get a full plate of food, you're probably gonna spend like $20, $25.
I think like chicken tenders and fries is $21.
Yeah.
So it's
The
it's
only
a
bad
scam,
thing
but-
that happened that day is I lost my glasses.
Really?
Only bad
I didn't know
thing.
about that.
I left them in the bathroom.
Wow.
Yep.
Actually I do. Yeah, I remember you going back to look for them.
Yeah, and they were gone.
Yeah.
Someone sniped them. I don't know why
that
you would
is
take someone's
devastating.
glasses in the bathroom.
Honestly, that's really, really sketchy.
Yeah, it's
But,
so weird that you just took someone's glasses.
You never know who needs them, dude.
But man, yeah, we are a good luck charm when it comes to going to sporting events.
Certainly.
So
it seems like we make good things happen, you know, especially in that situation.
yeah,
We kind of just went for it, and sometimes you have to just go shoot for the stars, man, and see what happens.
yeah.
And
And I cannot wait. I want to go to a UFC fight with you guys so badly.
I would love that more than anything, man. That'd be life changing, truly. The way you talk about it. I just want to add also, before we get into UFC a little bit, the list goes on for sporting events. You remember the Stanley Cup Finals? You and I were in DC.
Ooh,
You and I were
yeah.
in DC watching
we gotta tell that
on
story.
the Jumbotron. And
Yeah.
that's still top 5, top 10 night of my entire life.
Of my entire life. Yeah, it was
That was
game
incredible.
5, right? Game
Yeah.
5 in Vegas.
Game 5 sealed the deal.
Yeah. So Matt, Eric, Dominic, and Hunter and I, we were all we pre-gamed actually at Eric's Eric's ex-girlfriend. She had an apartment right above the metro.
Yep.
We were there pre-gaming, having a good time. Took the metro down to DC. Crowded. I mean, absolutely. If you guys don't know, just Google Capitals Arena, Game 5 Stanley Cup. The arena was packed on the inside, and there's not even a game going on in there. So it's 20,000 people inside, and then every bit of 60,000 outside, 70,000 outside.
I would say triple that. Like, triple 20K.
Oh,
You're looking at 60, 70. I mean, the streets...
Dude, and these huge projectors, like gigantic projectors that are on the streets, or you know what I mean, like posted up in the sky. Man, honestly, one of the best times of my life. I remember we got Am Pizza that night too. We went out and got Am Pizza in between intermissions.
I mean, we were just rolling. People were screaming. We were yelling at people, just chanting, getting pizza, getting drinks. You know, it was.
And watching the Stanley Cup champions, Alex Ovechkin raise it for the first time. And I remember after they won, everyone's going nuts, and I like jumped on top of like a semi truck, and like a cop like yanked me down, and I thought he was gonna like hold on to me. Yanks me down, just throws me, and goes grabs another kid because there was like 30 kids on the semi truck just going nuts. And then
people were on fences, people were on top of cars, on the light posts. Man, it was.
I mean, I have a video. Mayhem, I have a picture of. I'm pretty sure it's like you, Dom, and I like hanging off a fence or something.
I remember that. We climbed up.
Yeah, we're like hanging on the fence in the middle of DC. But and then we metro back home. Of course, the party kept going, and we went to the top of this huge apartment complex in Reston, right by the metro. There's a pool on top of the roof, like
not only a pool, but a lounge, a pool table, poker tables.
And people lie when they're like, "Oh, there's a pool on the roof." No, quite literally, there was a pool on this roof. And I remember the girl that was taking us home was like, "Hey, you guys better not," because Matt and I were outside looking at the water, and the pool was closed at this point. And I remember she was like, "Hey, like you guys better not jump in there. I'm not taking you home," because she was our ride. And we were like, Capson 5, and we just jumped in. And she ended up taking us home. So
she had no option really, and we knew that. As soon as she said that, though, I do remember that we looked at each other and said,
option.
"Let's go." And we jumped in that pool, man. I remember. Every car that was going by was just slamming on the horn with "Let's go Caps." Just
let's go Caps.
Yeah,
dude, it was legendary.
It was just a night that will live in infamy, man. It was incredible.
Dude, and we have so many memories yet to make in terms of like sporting events and stuff. Like,
truly, man,
Man, I love it. I absolutely love going to sporting events and everything. But should we talk about now the fights, the upcoming fights?
Let's do it.
Okay, so in September, September 26th, I think is the date. September 26th. It's coming up. It's like 2 weeks from last Saturday, I believe. Long story short, Israel, the last style bender, Adesanya, put his undefeated record on the line against undefeated challenger Paulo Costa. That's going to be a scrap, man. How do you think that fight's going to go down? And I know Adesanya's your boy. You're a big Adesanya guy, right?
Yeah. I love his style. I love his personality. Don't know much about Costa besides the hype videos that I've watched. He looks like an absolute animal. I've never seen a human more jacked than him. I mean, it's just every fiber of his body is just shredded muscle. And he is out for blood, man. He wants it bad, and I know it's definitely a different energy when you're trying to come up rather than when you're trying to defend the title. Yeah, like you have like that. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean or what you're trying to say. Yeah, I mean he's like when you're on the hunt, I guess. Yeah, if you will. Rather than having the target on your back, like being the champion where everyone's coming after you. Man, Costa, I know he's gonna go after it because he's not a counter striker. He puts his head down and he just starts swinging. He's like a Justin Gaethje type. And Adesanya's a counter striker, so you know he's gonna be slipping punches, rolling this way. You know what I mean, doing everything. So I don't know. I'm not gonna make a prediction just yet. I'm gonna wait until like the week of. But I like it. Yeah. I'm ready for the fight, and I'm ready to watch it at Tech with you guys. So, you better come down. I think Kyle's coming down. Visit. Okay. I'm pretty sure Kyle's coming down to watch that fight. That'll be awesome, man. Yeah, that'll be a great weekend. I'll make a slight prediction. I think we're gonna see a belt defended. I think Adesanya's going to defend that. You think he gets the knockout? Yeah. Or you think it's a decision? I think he knocks him out. I mean, like you said, his precision and his counter striking is just gonna win the day. Yeah, it's gonna be too much. I'm no fight expert. I'm not a guru, but I've seen him fight too many times to be able to doubt him. You know, he's inevitable. Yeah, and that card's not bad too. We also got because John Jones just relinquished the light heavyweight belt, so now that's on. So we got Reyes. That's on. We got Reyes against Jan Blachowicz. Reyes is a big time favorite. He's like a minus 260, I think. I was about to say because Reyes kind of beat John. Yeah, low key beat John. No judge, but
Yeah.
I kind of had him winning that fight.
I agree. So did I.
So,
Now
that should
Johnny
be
Bones
interesting.
going to heavyweight. I mean, that's something.
I like it though.
Yeah. So
you
did
gotta,
I.
you gotta change it up. Gotta spice things up.
Yeah. He ran light heavyweight for so long. So it is time to get new experience or something like that. Go up in a division.
Yeah.
But okay, we got Gaethje and Khabib. Now this one's kind of far away. This is October 26th. So this is a little more than a month and a half, or a little less than a month and a half. But Gaethje, Khabib. I have a feeling this might be one of the best fights in history. It's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be one of the best fights in history, or Khabib's just going to maul him like he does everyone else.
Yeah, it's hard. I think my heart is with Gaethje.
Yeah, same.
I don't want to make a prediction on this, but I don't know how well it's going to go for him. It hasn't gone too well for anybody else. So
No. Only one round Khabib has lost in his entire career, and it was to Conor round 3.
that's amazing. I
And
didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's never lost a single round in any other fight. So now the thing is Gaethje. I mean, he obviously has the power, but he's there's an interview that you can pull up from like 2 years ago of Gaethje saying he doesn't like to wrestle because it tires him out. So it's like, man, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, granted, he said that before he had the Khabib fight lined up, but Khabib might hear that. I mean, he was going to wrestle him anyway, but I mean, it's not good. It's not music to my ears hearing something like that.
No, it's not. I've heard Gaethje speak, and he's a dedicated young man, and he's kind of an animal. I think he's been able to really control how much he lets loose.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that in the Tony fight.
Yeah, like controlled aggression.
Controlled aggression. Yeah. It's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
So I think if he's able to temper that down, but unleash it when he needs to, it could make for an interesting fight. I do want to see him stand up. I would hate to see him just go to the ground immediately. And you look at like Kamaru Usman. I mean, one of the best fighters in the world, but so boring to watch.
Usman.
Yeah, it's hard. It's just hard to watch him fight. He's so dominant.
Did you watch his fight with Covington?
Yeah.
Because they kind
that was a great fight.
Yeah,
actually.
They canceled out the wrestling.
Maybe I'll take it back because that fight was actually one of the best.
Well, no, you're not wrong though. Because every other Usman fight has been pretty boring.
Yeah.
But it was just because the wrestling canceled each other out. Because Covington's wrestling solid, Usman's wrestling solid, no takedowns attempted either person.
And Covington, man, he brought it. He brought it that day.
He did bring it. What a fight!
Yeah.
Honestly, I love that fight. I was a scrap. But they say on the co-main event for Gaethje and Khabib is going to be Tony Ferguson, Dustin Poirier.
Okay.
Is
that rumored or is that cemented?
It's not cemented.
Okay.
I've heard though that both fighters are already training for that fight and that date. They're just awaiting a couple nicks with the contract, make sure everything goes smoothly on both ends. But I heard that they're both training for that fight.
That's
right
a
now.
hard one, man, because I love both those guys. I know you're.
El Kakui. I mean, I love Dustin too, but I gotta go with El Kakui.
You have to. I mean, he's literally your boy. So, I mean, I don't know if you've discussed on the podcast your relationship with.
I don't know if I have
with Tony. I don't know if you want to get into that today or bring it up later.
We can.
But
we can.
I know. You're probably partial to Tony in this fight.
Yeah. So I'll just say real quick for everyone that doesn't know. So last summer, August 17th, 2019, I went to California with my dad for a couple days, and while we were there on Saturday night, we went to a UFC pay-per-view. It was UFC 241, headlined by Daniel Cormier, Stipe Miocic. Nate Diaz had his comeback fight on the co-main event. But long story short, we get to the arena. My first time in California at the big arena, Honda Center. They have a Honda Center sign right outside the stadium. So I told my dad, I was like, hey, I want to get a picture right outside the stadium. He was like, yeah, sure. So we're walking around trying to find a good angle for it. We find a good angle. We go up to these people who are literally like front row parking, and they're drinking beers right outside their car.
Right.
So we go up to them, and I'm like, hey, do you mind taking a picture of my dad and I? And he's like, yeah, sure. And so he takes the picture, and my dad just starts talking with him, like after he takes the picture, like, oh, where are you guys from? Just like making small talk. Long story short, we're all at their trunk right now. The guy's like, hey, do you want a beer? Because they're just drinking beers waiting to go into the arena. My dad's like, yeah, sure. We're still talking for a little bit, and then they asked me, you want a beer? I was like, yeah, sure. So we're all sitting there talking, mostly about UFC, like a little bit about where you're from, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but mostly UFC questions. We talked for about 15 minutes, a good while, some good conversations, and right when we were getting ready to leave, not the guy who took the picture, but his friend who's similar in age, he was like, hey, before this kid leaves, tell him who you are. And he was like, oh, no, man, I'd rather not. And I'm just sitting there looking at my dad, and he's like, no, tell the kid who you are. And he looks at me, he was like, man, he's a big fan of the UFC. This kid would honestly be like in awe if you told him who you are.
Yeah.
The dude looks at me, and he's like, I'm Tony Ferguson's dad. And I was like, whoa, like so much went through my head so fast. The first thing that went in my head, and I'm so happy that it did, is this guy just told his friend he didn't want him to know who I was. So immediately I'm like, I'm not gonna fanboy. I'm not gonna be like, oh, Mr. Ferguson, look at you know what I mean? Like, let me meet you.
Yeah, you don't want to like freak out.
Yeah, so I was like, wow. And so I literally just looked at him and I'm like, hey man, please tell Tony, I said, like, good luck in his next fight. I hope he gets the Khabib fight that he's been dreaming for. He's one of my favorite, because he truthfully is one of my favorite fighters, because the way he fights, he's just all out aggression, can take a punch, can give a punch, he can do everything. Right. So I was like, hey man, just please tell Tony that I'm a fan of his, and it was nice meeting you. He was like, well, you can just tell Tony in person. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, Tony's on the other side of the arena signing autographs right now. And I was like, yo, what? Like, I didn't even know. This is so bad on my part, because I'm a huge fan of the UFC. I should have known that there was an autograph signing going on.
True, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't. So he was like, Tony's on the other side of the arena right now. And I was like, wow. So we exchanged numbers. He was like, when I get over there, he was like, we're not going to go for a little bit, but go over there right now. And I'll text you when I get there. Okay. And so I exchanged numbers with him, and I'm literally walking with my dad, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I wonder if he'll actually text me. Like, do you think we'll actually get to meet Tony tonight? Like, blah, blah, blah. So we walk into this it's called the UFC fan experience. It's just this huge, like, sign. It's in a parking lot, and it's all, like, fenced in. There's like, security everywhere. And anyway, so we go. I see Jorge Masvidal. I was probably, like, 15 feet away from Jorge Masvidal. His line was so long, though, because how it went is you just waited in line, you handed your phone to a security guard, he took the picture, and then he handed it to another security guard, and you got it on your way out. So it was real fast. Like, you're like 10 seconds. Like, you're taking a picture, you're saying, hey, dapping them.
Just cycling them through.
Yeah, just because there's like thousands of people, dude. Like, there are hundreds, so many people. So I'm like pretty close to Jorge, and I was like, dude, like, this is really all I need. Like, I took a picture of him, not with him, but like, you know. And so I go up to Tony's line, and his line is the longest of everyone, because Jorge wasn't that big at the time.
I was going to ask, is this before the
This is right after the Askren knee, and I actually got his attention. I screamed, I was like, Jorge, and he looked over, and I was like, you killed Askren with that knee last month, and he just looked at me and threw me a thumbs up.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And that was pretty cool. So anyway, so then we're waiting in line for Tony's thing, and it was just going by so slow, and I was like, Dad, like, honestly, the fight's already started, let's go in. I don't think we're gonna meet Tony. So we start to leave, and as soon as we get out of line, from like 70 yards away, dude, I make direct eye contact with Tony's dad. Like, direct eye contact between so many people, and he just waves me over. And so I literally walk up to him, and he was like, hey, I'm gonna get you guys into the VIP tent today. And I was like, what? And he literally just, like, we walk up to the security guard, and he's like, the security guard's like, hey, how you doing, Mr. Ferguson? And he was like, how you doing, whatever the guy's name was. And he was like, hey, these are two of my friends. You're gonna make sure they get in here today. And so the guy literally just straps me with a Modelo, because it was like the Modelo tent, Modelo bracelet, and I still have it in my room. I have it.
I was about to say, you gotta pin that up.
Yeah, I kept it. Wow. I kept all the stuff, like all my flight stuff, like my tickets and everything from that trip. But so we're literally in this VIP tent with like 15 people. It's like Tony's wife, Tony's dad, his friend, and then like a couple other like random people that I don't know. And yeah, dude, it was crazy. Like, he was like, let me know when you want me to meet, or when you want to meet Tony. He was like, he's signing autographs right now, but I'll just pull him over like whenever. And so like, we're talking for like 15 minutes, and then out of nowhere, he was like, hey, I'm gonna get Tony over here right now. And he literally just looks at Tony, and he's like, Tony, get over here. And like, Tony starts to walk, and the security guard like stops him, and he's like, no, like, tell Tony he needs to get over here right now. And so the security guard just literally like lets him go. People are waiting in line, like, this is like halted now, and I'm literally just talking with Tony Ferguson like this close, with just me, my dad, him, and his dad. Wow. For like 5 minutes, dude. It was so surreal. We took a picture and everything.
Bless you, man.
Yeah, we were just talking. He was asking like what high school I went to, where I was from, what college I went to, what I'm into, like sports wise. I mean, he's a big sports guy himself. He played football in high school, he told me.
Oh, you're kidding? Okay.
Yeah, he played football in high school. I mean, it was just one of those moments where I'm just like so blessed. Like I was literally walking into the arena, and I was like, how did this happen? Like, I literally wanted to get a picture in front of the stadium with my dad. And the one person out of 20,000 people that we go up to is Tony's dad. And then I still keep in touch with him. Like, I mean, I still text him every now and then before the fights and everything. I mean, he's such a nice guy. I mean, he truthfully is one of the nicest people. Not just Tony, but his dad is
I was
so
gonna say,
nice.
Not only did, by chance you met up with Tony's dad, but he was like courteous enough and nice enough to be like, yeah, let me actually introduce you, let me hang out with you, and like, give you that experience.
Yeah.
So, that's incredible, man.
Yeah, and then at the end of the night, because we were texting all during the fights, at the end of the night, he texted me, he was like, beers at our truck. So literally, when Cormier lost, we went right out.
Back?
Yeah, we went back, and we literally sat in their parking lot of the Honda Center for like another 40 minutes, just drinking beers and talking about the fights. And at that point,
Wow.
we were all pretty drunk. So I was asking him like in-depth questions. I was like, hey man, like, why does the UFC do this and why do they do that? Like, just trying to, get a little more insight. But
Wow.
what a guy. I mean, honestly, one of the nicest
Yeah.
people you could possibly ever meet.
That's incredible. Yeah. Yeah. I
I know,
mean, it's literally just like a
I've never told that
mind-blowing
story on camera, but
Yeah.
I know I told you
So-
guys like right after it happened because I was in shock. I remember I,
I know,
called
yeah.
Dom, I called just about everyone, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, what just happened? But
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I just wouldn't know how to react in that situation, but it's something you'll always just be like,
I will never ever
Yeah.
ever forget that day.
yeah.
and,
For you're such a big UFC fan,
Yeah.
and such a fan of the sport and of Tony especially, so I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
you definitely got rewarded for your fandomhood a little bit.
And another
there.
thing is just like it's such a special moment that I was able to experience, with my dad. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, man.
it's one of those
Right.
things that like
Right.
not just the trip to California because that was my first time going to California, but like just everything. I mean, that whole trip was so special, and to do it with him, and like we were saying earlier in the podcast, like our parents are a little old. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like my dad's like on his deathbed, but I'm just saying that he's getting older, and like to have an experience and a trip like that, it's something I will never ever forget.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, how incredible you guys got to bond over such a cool thing.
Yeah.
Go through that.
yeah, I'm hoping we can do something similar to it again in November.
Yeah.
But
Are they bringing it back? Do you know a deadline for sports for fans in the state?
no, I have no clue. But him and I, we're going to Vegas.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. I forgot about
So
that.
it's not going to be. There's not going to be any sporting events going on, so we won't be really going for like any specific event. But I'm just excited to just hang out with him and just get a bunch of alone time with him, and in a state that I've never been to, in a city I've never been to.
Yeah.
So
And it's interesting that a father-son bond. It's like you grow up and you're not always a huge fan of your dad. They're the stickler sometimes. They're laying down the law. But when you get to a certain age, and I think we're kind of hitting that point right now where we're 20 years old, 21 years old. You start to look at him as a like mentor and as a friend. Somebody who you can really utilize that relationship to help you
Exactly.
get through life and get through like some of the things you're going through. So it's cool that you kind of like actively seek out that relationship with your dad.
yeah,
This is special.
and I
It's really
didn't.
special.
I didn't always. I mean, because we've always had like a pretty close relationship. But like
Yeah.
in the last like 3 years, rather than hide some stuff that I do, like maybe some of the stuff like I shouldn't be doing, I try to just be so open with him, so he has like a full understanding of who I actually am, how I actually think, what I do, why I do it, and he can give me advice and criticism. But he's criticizing and giving advice to someone that he actually fully knows. Like, you know what I mean? There's no hiding going on. Like he knows what I'm doing, whether he likes it or not. It's and that might sound bad saying, but it's just one of those things. Like I want him to know me, who I actually am, and not like
and who you've become. Because
fake
you
version.
change, you grow up, and like the kid he thinks is his son. You go through things, and you change. Becoming a young man. So it's like it's important that he knows who you are and what you're
Exactly.
about. And hey, yeah, maybe I do some things you don't like, but this is me, and this is who I am. So
exactly.
that's it's like a cornerstone of a really successful relationship. So
And you gotta be willing to receive criticism and everything, and not just like have your own bulletproof mentality of the way you want to live. Because like you said, our dads have been through so much, and we can pick their brains and learn from their experiences and their mistakes, so we don't have to make the same mistake. Like they have a lot of value. Like our parents have a lot of value more than we actually know and understand. And I feel like a lot of kids our age don't utilize that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't utilize it, and not everyone's blessed with a father or parents even that are present in their lives.
Exactly.
So it's always weird. I always try to imagine, because my dad went to tech, and so there's this tree he always used to sit under, and he would always tell me about it, like growing up. So sometimes I'll go sit under that tree, do some homework,
That's awesome.
read a book, just listen to music. And it's always weird to picture. My dad, he was a kid. He was trying to figure out his life too.
Yeah.
And so when you think about it like that, think about like the long term person that they are, not just as like, oh, that's my father. It kind of opens up a whole new doors for communication and for growth.
Yeah, no, it totally does, man. I've been loving this conversation. This is my longest podcast ever.
Really?
Yeah.
My bad.
No, dude, do not apologize at all. Like, I'm honestly loving this conversation. I think everyone that's listening or watching, whichever one they're doing, I'm hoping they're enjoying it as much as we are.
Hopefully, man.
But should we get into the quote of the day?
Let's
Just about wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up, man. Yeah.
So the quote of the day that I have for you guys this week is the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. And it's almost like it ties back into like what Musk, how we started the podcast with Elon Musk. yes, he's an intelligent guy, but his imagination is just so out there. And like, if you can imagine anything, you can do it. I mean,
yeah,
you got to put in the work, obviously, but imagination is crucial.
Yeah, I think, and being bold enough to imagine things that haven't been thought of before, and to imagine new ways of doing things, new ways of kind of revamping anything, your own lifestyle, the way you study, the way you go about your life, and imagine like bravely and boldly a big future for yourself or for the world.
Yeah, I feel like
that's something he does very well.
Yeah, I feel like having a lot of imagination or imagining things a lot almost like invites a positive mindset, because think of little kids. Little kids are imagining stuff all the time, and you see kids cry and stuff, but more often than not, when you see a kid outside playing around with sticks and playing freeze tag or something, like they're like, there's a lot of imagining going on, and I feel like they're just living in their own like fantasy land, and that's how it should be. Not that you're living in like a little bubbly world, but I mean, like, this is another thing that's hard to put into words. I feel like I think things, but I have a hard time articulating it with words.
Yeah, it's the human condition, man. It's a big struggle.
Yeah,
it's always trying to formulate that. I know what you mean, though. Yeah, it always kind of has like childish connotations, like imagination. Be creative, like imagine. I mean, oftentimes we get sucked into like this world of like, oh, we're just gonna run the rat race. Just go to work, go to school, do this, do that. But yeah, imagination really
it's potentially like the key, you know what I mean? Like,
it seems to be. Yeah.
Keep your imagination as long as you possibly can. If you can keep it for your entire life, don't ever give up your creative side.
Yeah.
And
to create is to express yourself.
I like that.
And I think a lot of people, and I often find myself just like lacking that creation and like expression, and you bottle things up and you like keep it inside. But expressing yourself, imagining, creating, that's a big part of what life is about. So I think that's a fantastic quote, Mike.
Yeah. I haven't done the quote of the day in a while. I've switched it up. Done fact of the day, quote of the day, question of the day.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean,
just keep them guessing.
Yeah. So this week I did the quote of the day.
Okay.
But man, phenomenal episode.
Yeah, this has been great, dude. What a fantastic way to spend my afternoon. It's amazing.
And your birthday's tomorrow. I mean, that's big time. Yeah. I can't wait for this weekend too, to see you guys this weekend and go to Claytor Lake and Elrod's and then watch sports and stuff together.
And just kick it back, just enjoy the presence of friends, man. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, it really is, man. 2 more years here in college.
Yeah.
2 more years. It's been flying by, but I feel like we've made the most of it so far.
Definitely doing our best.
Yeah, for sure. But everyone, make sure to follow Matt on Instagram at Matt_Burkholder1. Any other shout outs or closing statements you want to give?
I think we just about covered everything. Big shout out to you, man. Always been a huge fan. And a huge fan of this podcast. You're
a huge friend, dude. I mean, you're one of my best friends. Like, I've literally known you since we were like in 3rd grade playing basketball. I mean, you're a friend more than anything, bro.
Yeah.
And a great friend at that. I mean, you're someone that I know that I can always go to if I'm struggling with something. I mean, I might not actually come to you with my problems like in the past, but I'm saying I know that if I needed to, I could. And I hope you feel the same way.
I do. Yeah,
with me, man.
That's certainly reciprocated, man. And I think we have a mutual admiration for each other,
Yeah.
Especially here at this pod and everything. You've always been someone to actively make decisions that, like proactively choose the way your life's going to go,
Mm-hmm.
And this is just another example of that, making the best out of your situation.
Yeah.
And just making things happen, man, being productive.
I'm slightly upset though that it took episode 31 to get you on, because one of my best friends. No. I mean, we were busy this summer. Like, you were in Virginia Beach for most of the summer, but I'm so happy that I was finally able to get you on, and we crushed it. I mean, an hour and 30 minutes. That's a long time. It's a good listen to. So
hopefully everyone loves it. I mean, we probably rambled on at points, but who doesn't, man? That's how it goes.
For sure.
Good deal. Many more to come, dude.
Yeah, many more. We'll definitely be doing one again in the future.
No doubt.
But guys, thank you very much for listening or watching, whichever one you guys did. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends and family, do all that good stuff. But today was Wednesday, September 9th, 2020. This was season 2, episode 31. Today my guest was Matt Burkholder, excuse my French. But and I'm your host of this show, Michael Marr. As always, stay clean, stay safe, and stay tuned.
Peace out.
Come on. Sicker than your average. Pop a twist cabbage off instinct. Niggas don't think shit stink. Pink gators. My Detroit players. Tim's for my